with the establishing your why PowerPoint. Um, so first and foremost, I think it's really important before we begin any type of journey, whether you are doing fitness or whether you are a performance athlete, when you set goals, one of the first places that you should start is why are you doing this? Why is this important to me? You can even use my rule of thumb is asking yourself why 6 times. Because sometimes we might have a surface level goal, but if it doesn't run deep enough, then when times get tough or you might not hit a result that you want, then you will give up or you find yourself starting to come up with excuses as to why you didn't do something one day and you might just let it go by and say, and doesn't matter anymore. Everything starts, all of your actions moving forward start with establishing your why. So I'm going to real briefly go through the establishing your why PowerPoint. So first thing, yeah, there are two great days in a person's life: the day they are born and the day they discover their why. This is a pretty cool quote that I found from William Barclay, but it's pretty straightforward. Once you discover your purpose and what the reason is behind your actions and your behaviors, then you will be a lot more driven and more consistent and persistent in getting them done. So it's always a great place to start. I mean, finding your why, finding out what your purpose is at the epicenter of your future accomplishments. It's a problem. Too many people in life are just going through the motions. They have no aim, and it causes an emotional void or hopelessness. Having no why means you don't have any real direction. It's like sailing on the ocean, and you don't have a compass, and the sail is not even open. You don't know where you're going. And how does this relate to fitness? Well, the majority of the people quit after a while, not because it was too hard, but because they weren't driven enough to continue going when things got hard. Okay, their why was not strong enough. We can take a look at New Year's resolutions every single year. The gyms always are packed in January, February, and then right towards the middle of February, they start to taper off, and you see less and less people in the gym. Probably because they have what I call surface level goals. So, last point here: people's wants are shallow, and the lack of depth causes a lack of true work ethic and only feelings of regret. So when you set your goals, they need to have some depth. I always tell people when they come in and they speak, and their goals are, hey, what are your goals? I'm like, here, I just want to get a six pack, or I'm tired of this flab on my stomach. I want to look like this. Okay, well, why? Well, because I just, and if you ask why enough, then you really start to peel back the layers of that onion. Solution. What is it that you value? What are your principles? Do you value health? Is it your family? Do you want to be more energy? Do you want to be more positive in life? Some not everyone who works out just to lose weight. Some people do it for stress management. You know, if you value being around your family and your children for a long time, that means you will indirectly or directly want to take better care of yourself so that you can be around longer for them. If you're an athlete and you value you're and you value just getting better every day at something, then setting a goal and doing what it takes will be easier than the person who just wants to say, I want to accomplish just this just to do it. So, like I just mentioned, when people say that they want to train just to get in shape by a certain date or like a wedding or something like this, then typically when shit hits the fan, they kind of fall back like, hey, I didn't expect things to be this hard. But if you look at this second reason here, I want to get in shape so that my kids can really look up to me and I just want to feel and move better. This portrays someone who values family and their overall health. So since they're more closely tied to their values, then their goals become more vivid. And when their goal is more vivid, the direction that they would take will inevitably get them there because they have so much drive. There's always going to be fuel in the tank. So finding what it is that you value will make it a lot easier to set your aim, not only in fitness, but in life. So I'll give you some of my personal core values and belief. I like spending time with my wife and daughter. I like alone time. I really do like motivating others. Hence this silly PowerPoint I put together for you. I love travel. I think it's the most fulfilling food for the soul. I love doing it. I truly believe in continuous education and that when you stop learning, so does your true growth. I don't like making excuses. I don't do them. I like to have fun. I like to laugh. I believe health is a lifelong investment. I believe in having a purpose, a reason, and once fulfilled, life is good. And I like being around like minded individuals. This is what I believe. This is what I like. So, what are your values? They don't have to be the same as mine, but knowing can help give you some direction. Again, you want to lose weight. Why? Is it really because of that wedding, or is it really because summer's coming up? You want to get in shape for summer. Why? Well, maybe you just don't want to feel embarrassed when you go out into the beach, and you don't like the feeling you get around other people in a bathing suit. You want to feel more self-sufficient. You want to be more confident. And then we're starting to really etch away at what your true values are. Once you understand your why, then you will be able to relate it better to your actual fitness or training journey. All the time in fitness, we see people pursuing goals for short term gains. And once we don't hit those results immediately, the energy, the motivation, it fades away. People who are getting in shape just for vacation, or the person who just want to improve their overall health, who do you think will persist better through the obstacles? Identifying what you value will help tie into you finding your why. So I mean, I really don't need to go too much into this one, but it's understandably so. People might have mixed messages about what they should value, or what they should look like, or how they should perform in the field, because we're always bombarded with these messages of what being fit is supposed to look like, or what eating healthy is supposed to look like, or um, what looking like a 5-star recruit is like. Being an athlete means you have to be a 5-star recruit. So if you don't do this or accomplish this in a certain time, then it's not done. Everything is false. Okay, these advertisements that you see, these messages that you see that do not tie into what you value, will never be in line with what you truly want. They're everything is just hollow. So don't get sucked in, and especially now today we're living in the social media world. You're scrolling through your phone, people on vacations, people taking pictures and this and that. You see this model or influencer looking like this way, and it's easy to get sucked in. But this false perception often fails to bring out your fullest potential, and if you never hit that number or that goal, you get discouraged more easily. Don't let false images determine the direction you head towards. Okay? This is not a race that you're in. Everything is about you. This is your journey. You might be doing it and you want to feel better around others, or help others make better decisions, but this is about you. So don't get sucked into images that have nothing to do with you. And what else does that require? It is going to require you getting outside of your comfort zone. This is another thing, when you start this journey, the reason why you aren't where you want to be is because you've been doing the same thing that you have been doing. Obviously, something is not working, and a lot of people get stuck in that circle that they're in, like, oh, this is too far outside of what I typically do. I don't think that I can do it. I don't want to do it because I feel vulnerable outside of my area of comfort. At the end of the day, you have to make yourself vulnerable so that you can change for the better. In order to achieve something you have never had, you will have to do things that you have never done. So you might be uncomfortable doing certain things, but in order to achieve what you wrote down, you just have to do them. So make sure you're getting outside of your comfort zone. Balance is key. Right now in life, everything is crazy. We're on this Corona vacation, and we have a lot of crazy stuff going on. So emotionally, you might be out of order. Stuff at home might be in disarray. You run a business, that's enough stress right there. You haven't been able to work out, and you're not present at home for your family mentally and emotionally, and it's really tough. But you have to have balance between those things in order for you to fully achieve your potential. And it starts with taking charge on the little small things, making a schedule the day before, the week before, setting time aside for the things that are most important for you. When you get carried away, and I'm guilty of this too. Sometimes I get carried away in working on my business or working on my whatever I have going on, that I'm not always available during times where I need to be the most available. So you have to set times and deadlines and cutoff times for what's important to you and implement those things that you feel are important into your life. Make the time to get those things done and then move forward into the next task. You chop it up like this. Too much time, too much work means no time for you or your family. Or if you're spending too much time caring for someone else, regardless, you might be a parent, you might be an older sister, a sibling, and you have to care for someone else. But if you are not taking care of yourself, then you can't be fully emotionally available for whatever or whomever you're taking care of. Your life should be enjoyable and fun. You truly achieve this through having balance. So balance really is key. The don't list. What is it that you can stop doing today that does not support the healthy lifestyle that you can achieve? Is it drinking? Is it going to bed too late? Is it not drinking enough water? Not meal planning, too much phone or television? All of these things are the obstacles that are separating you from where you want to be. So if you ask yourself, what can I stop doing today that will move me forward the next day, then you can really start gaining ground and you can really start breaking those barriers because now we have identified what your biggest obstacles might be. Time is money. Time is one of the, if not the most valuable commodity that you will ever have in life because you can't control it. Whether you're having a bad day or you missed a goal, the time never stops. That's why it's important to really maximize and segment your time and devote it to those things, those people that are most important to you. You can never get it back. And one of my mentors, told me to waste time is to waste your life. The most important choices that you will ever make are how you use your time. Very true. So when it comes to hitting those goals, fitness, or I didn't have time, I didn't have time to work out 3 times this week, or I didn't have time. No, the time is there. You just have to make the time for those things to happen. Conclusion. Your achievement in life comes indirectly as a result of what you value. So going back to what we spoke about before, finding out what your values are, what do you value, will help you seed and nurse that why. And when you do a self-assessment, you uncover what you value, your why becomes clearer. Fitness does not just happen in the gym. Life is fitness. It's more than just about lifting weights and hopping on a treadmill or hopping on your Peloton bike. Doesn't matter what you do. When you make the time to create or devote to your fitness, you are investing time, pressure. You are investing. You're investing great energy in what it is. You're showing yourself that you can be disciplined. Okay, like you're establishing discipline, and when you make the time for your fitness, you're saying this is that important to me that I'm going to chunk this time to get it done. Okay, and again, that becomes easier once you align those values with what you're trying to do. Your why will lead to balance and maximizing your time to achieve your truest success. So, before you begin your journey, before we begin, you go through all this. I challenge you to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is my why strong enough? What is it that I value so much that has me so driven towards accomplishing this? Do I find myself making more excuses than I'm making progress? Or am I making more progress than I am excuses? And if you find yourself more so in the former, making more excuses than progress, then let's regroup. Let's find out, okay, hey, what's going on? Maybe I need to rethink some of the things I thought were important or what I really wanted and get those things situated. But everything starts with your why. So I hope this presentation helped give you some clarity and some stability in what you're trying to achieve. But remember, everything starts with your why and your values. Coach Willis signing out.